So this is due in dealers in a couple of weeks' time. That's BMW. So this is right on the limit for a 125, liquid cooled. I think it's about 13 horsepower, so it's not really 100% on the limit, but 9.5 kilowatts. So 9.5 kilowatts, yeah, it's about 13 brake horsepower. 11 kilowatts is the 14.75 horsepower, but this, being liquid cooled, I think will sell quite well, and it's going to be about 3.5 grand on the road. So I think it's 3,299 plus on the road, and I think that as a liquid cooled alternative to marvellous, how are you? So I think that is a great liquid cooled version of the Desert Scrambler, the air cooled. Now remember, I don't know if you remember the AJS Tempest Scrambler that they used to do, which they no longer do. I think this is a replacement for that. I think in the black traditional colours that'll sell well, but I like orange, and I love that original traditional badge. Brilliant. With the old Cadwell, a favourite, and a lot of people like to go for that. They don't do the 250 anymore. The Bilston's another new one they do, the 125 Bilston. Nice looking sort of commuter bike. The only 250 they do now is this one. Now, do you remember the Blue Rock V250? Well, it's not the same bike apparently. Looks very similar though, doesn't it? But and similar to the BD Moto. But it's got that Blue Rock look to it, but it's a nice looking pot on that.
Good to speak to you.
But yeah, nice V-twin, 172 kilos, so it's not overly heavy, but it's a nice looking cruiser. So this is 4,599, 250 V-twin. What do you think of that? Let me know. And the old favourite, the Modena, got that old style Lambretta look, albeit with squeaky panels. But they have always been very popular for AJS. Funky looking, a budget sort of Lambretta, and people absolutely love them. Then now they've got the Firefox, which was only available, used to be available in a 50, and now they do it in the 125. If you like a scooter, and then the electric Tromox. So you fancy electric bike? That's quite funky, isn't it? It's like a...
I've been watching your channel.
Oh, have you?
I recognise you.
And then this is their new one. What do you think of that? I think this is something that would be ideal for the back of a camper van. It's got that sort of go anywhere type of Honda vibe to it, isn't it? Fantastic looking thing. Great looking 125. 115 kilos, so that's not a lot. 130 miles to the gallon. You can ride it obviously on a CBT, but the fact that you can stick your fuel can on the side, you've got this massive tray on the back as well that you can stick no idea what on.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Motors for the masses.
Yes. So that, as a 125, 2,199. £2,200. That's brilliant. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's got that sort of CVT scooter style engine, but you have got the gear lever on there. But sort of a Honda Grom style engine. But yeah, hard again with the AJS badging. They're going back to their roots with the AJS badging. I much prefer that. I think that's a good move. Yeah, what a funky little thing. Something to stick on the camper. Great, £2,200, a go anywhere, lightweight bike that will happily take two people. looks comfortable, looks very usable. Look at the size of that brake lever, like that rear brake lever. Funky little thing. Well, I hope that sells well, because I think it looks fantastic. So I used to be an AJS dealer years ago, before I got rid of the dealership, and I've spoken to AJS to see if I can get hold of one of those new scrambler bikes as a long-term loan. So we're going to see if that comes off. But I quite fancy one of them as well. Something funky that I can use and just go anywhere and just jump on and nip down to the shops on. Put it through its paces, stick a load of luggage on it and see what it can do. And maybe a trip. I'm going to email them and see what we can come up with. So then on to Fantic. That must mean that Zontes are here as well. Clements Moto, of course, being the importer for them. Fantic. This is the Stealth that I did a little introduction on when I went down to Clements Moto to ride their Zontes 368G and their 703RR. But yeah, I think that is going to be a great seller. And that one is $4,999 plus on the road costs. So it's the same sort of money as the likes of KTM and Yamaha, but obviously you've got that Yamaha Minarelli engine in there. Great. The other one I'm interested in is that sports bike. We'll have a look at that in a second. But again, Fantic with their Supermotos and their Caballeros. Caballero, 6,500 for that one. That's the Caballero Deluxe 500. Again, another bike that does great colour schemes and great quality. Love the engines on these. And then the Fantic Caballero, the grey one, that's the one I did a review on many years ago now. $5,500 for that one. Deluxe being their base model. And then you've got the Scrambler 500, which is $6,299. And then onto their off-road stuff. Two-stroke bikes, XX250, £9,199. But these look amazing and they ride superbly. I've had a quick go on one of these, but quite a scary machine. I'm not an off-roader. As you know, the only time I've been off-road was on my KTM. Went great right up until the moment I crashed because I'm inexperienced. And then 125/8599. That one is the one I want to ride. Looking forward to seeing what that one's like. Zontes with their 125X. And this one, which I've never got round to riding, the 125V, I believe, isn't it? The V? Oh, the C2. ZT125C2. 2,899 plus on the road, so £3,000 or just over £3,000. Lovely colour. And that again, green. You see, I'm attracted to vomit colours, vomit and diarrhea colours. I love them. The GK 125. Again, another bike that I can't praise enough. And the G1. When these first came out, they were really, really popular. The U1 as well, and of course the new version of that, really, the 125Z2. I say new, it's been out a while now, but it's new to me. And there we go, 3,299 for the U1. Prices really haven't changed on these for years. And then over to their bigger stuff, the 703RR here, which I reviewed quite a while ago now when I went down. Absolutely fantastic bike. 703cc triple. Absolutely brilliant bike. Love that. 70 kilowatts, so that's what, 95 horsepower. And that does ride superbly. Very impressed with that. the 703T, which is the new version of that, the 703F. So the 703F I did a review on when I went down to Davy Brothers in Ipswich and rode their demo bike. But that, with that triple exhaust, I think looks phenomenal. And this is the T, the new version. Look how low the seat height is on that. Again, with that, is that a triple engine again, the 703 triple? Yes, 3-cylinder, 699, 70 kilowatts, so 95 horsepower. Exactly the same engine. What's the seat height on that? Because it looks small. Yes, 790. That's pretty good. Price to be advised. So they haven't come up with a price on that one yet. But I don't think it's going to be expensive. That looks brilliant, and I think that will be very popular. This one we already know is only 7 grand for the X. So it's probably going to be about the same sort of price. I say X, it's not an X, is it? It's an X version, but it's the F for Zontes. But yeah, love the look of that front end. Brilliant looking bike. And the grey and blue works really well. It seems to be their theme for this show. The 368G, which I also rode when I went down to them. Does look good in the green. So look, this is what it looks like 2 up. They actually look very comfortable on that.
Can't beat an armrest, you know.
4,999. And of course Peugeot, which Clements Moto are the importer for. Not many people here. Look at the buzz on Zontes and Fantic. And Peugeot is empty. No one here. Interesting. So 2,199 for the little Peugeot Active 50. The Pulsion there, 125. That one's 3,799. Pulsion is a nice tricked out Peugeot, if you like that kind of thing. And the Pulsion Evo in black, matte black. Again, not my favourite colour, but people do like it. And then the blue, that is much nicer. Nice blue that is. Very French. Oh, sorry about that. White wheels, yep. Again, that's really retro, but it works. White wheels with the blue, that colour scheme is brilliant. And then the Tweet, which they've seemed to have upgraded. That always sold well when I had Peugeot. 2,799. They've redesigned it. It looks really good actually. Not a bad price either. And then the matte black 50cc 2,899. That seems quite expensive for a 50. That's more like it. The Street Zone 50 2,299. The Peugeot are well built. They're decent bikes. So that takes me from Zontes on to Royal Enfield. Now another very popular stand here, and we'll have a look and see what they've got. The Flying Flea should be here, so we'll have a look at that one. And oh, I've just seen their new Bullet. But first off, my favourite bike in my favourite colour scheme, the Bear 650 in that green 249 colour scheme. Oh, I still want one. I am going to buy one. Look at that, just something about that colour scheme that just works for me. 6,999 I believe, or 7,099 for that colour scheme. And I love it. I am going to have one. And there it is, the Royal Enfield 650 Bullet. I absolutely love that colour scheme. That's like a metallic hint of a brown in a grey gunmetal. That works really well with the gold accents, and that badge in gold I think looks superb. They've really nailed it with that. Yeah, that works. Now I've seen it in the flesh. I know I said in my previous little video that my thoughts on this were a bit negative perhaps. I looked at it and thought, do we really need another 650? But yeah, that works. I like that. The gold accents, that really does work well. I like that a lot. I'm not so sure on the bars. I don't think the bars are needed. I think the bars are an odd choice for this style of bike. The Bullet looks great, but with those bars, that's something you'd find on the Super Meteor. Not really something you could see on a classic looking bike. See, here it is. The, oh, look at that. Tough Crafts. Oh, that looks unusual. It's a shotgun 650. Well, I don't know, I've never seen that badge before. Yeah, that works. Black with the gold accents really works on these. Oh, these are custom builds. That's why. So the standard shotgun and the classic 650, you see. Ooh, look at that colour. That's a lovely colour scheme. And obviously, if see the bars on that, again, on the classic, don't think it's needed. That's the bobber, which obviously you don't need them on. So where do the bars fit in? I mean, it kind of works better on the classic than it does on the Bullet. I don't think it should be on the Bullet. And the Interceptor 650, a bike that has been popular for a while now, since it came out. And the Continental GT, I forgot about that one on my other video, Continental GT 650. And then the Flying Flea, the electric undertaking. What do you think of that? I like the carbon effect on there. And of course, it's a far cry from the original Flying Flea. I see they've got the accent here, look, of the parachute, because this used to be the crate bike, but they were always lightweight that you could carry with you, stick your luggage on. So the fact that it becomes an electric bike, I don't know how I feel about that. That's the Scrambler version, and that's the road version. But yeah, I mean, again, as another manufacturer reusing a name, and it's okay, but well, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I like the badging, and I like the fact that they've got this Flying Flea thing. That works. But should it be an electric bike? I think the Flying Flea should have been a little 125. That's what they should have done. They should have done a 125 Flying Flea. And that, I think, would have worked. Being electric? I don't know. I don't think it would work. Now this is the, now I've got to call this correctly now, the Goan. I called it the Goan because all the videos I've seen from the Indian market, I've called it more of a Goan rather than the Goan. But apparently it's pronounced Goan. And the Himalayan. A bike that is phenomenal, I think. The 450 Himalayan. Superb bike. A much better replacement for the original 398cc. And the Super Meteor. And the Meteor 350. It's the new colour of the Hunter, which is not allowed to call a Hunter. So it's the Hunter 350. I've done lots of videos on Royal Enfields now. I don't need to tell you the prices of these, you've seen them all. And if not, have a look at my playlists where I've got lots of videos on Royal Enfield. I like that colour scheme though. And that white and black, that works really nicely. 350 Hunter. Great colour scheme. And even that scheme on the 450 Gorilla. Nice, sort of a champagne brown. I like that. And even in the black with the red and yellow. That works too. Brings us on to the original classics. This is the Bullet 350. Then over here is that original Flying Flea. There it is, that is the original Flying Flea, the crate bike. The bike they used to drop out of an aeroplane with luggage and equipment on. And it was light enough for people to pick up and carry. And then they could go on their way with a blackout light on the front. And that's where the parachute bit comes from, because they used to attach to a parachute on the top there and drop it out of an aeroplane with the guy following it. And then we've got some special versions of their race bikes, Dakar bikes, an original off-road scramblers, the Big Bear Run bike, FT 450, a tracker, and a custom bike. So behind the Norton stand we've also got MV Agusta. As you know, I used to have the Dragster 800RR, and this is the new Dragster RR. Love that wheel. Still looking a bit of a monster, still with that droopy front light, but what a monster. Beautiful looking bike that. And the Enduro Veloci. MV Agusta have always been pretty bikes. I like it in that white and blue, that works. And then the Super Veloci 1000 with his exhaust system. Absolutely phenomenal looking thing. A demon of a bike with a demon price. Superb looking thing though. So pretty. Well, the seat height on that looks quite low. Yes. Now when you look at these bikes and you see, look, that naked bike there, what do you see in that? Because I see the QJ motor in that. QJ motor 800, very similar. And that Brutale, again, it's got QJ stamped around it, I think. I think it works. The Brutale 800. Now that is just fantastic, Brutale RR. But not as nice. Not this one. I mean, it's okay. I like that. It's nice, but it's not my style. I prefer that. That is phenomenal. Look at the exhaust system on that. Absolutely amazing. Brutale 1000 with that exhaust system. just works. That is beautiful. Again, not a fan of the light, with that goppy looking headlight. There's a bit of a droopy bottom lip on it. But other than that, that's a beautiful, beautiful bike. The same with my Dragster RR. The light was not nice. The rest of the bike was phenomenal. And that is quite unusual. Nice wheels, nice exhaust system. Beautiful. So that brings us on to KTM, another busy stand. Doesn't matter what hardship KTM go through, they still come out the other end. Start with a 790 adventure here, 9999. It does make you wonder, considering the CF Moto.
I'm pretty much the same, you know. Yeah. Only ride when the sun's out.
Well, I think this is going to be an awkward stand to film. 390X. And they're 5399. That's a competitive price though. 390X Adventure. Not a bad price. It's got a good look to it, isn't it? And KTM have really improved their looks as the years have gone by. Their Enduro R. So for a 125, that's 4899. Is that something you think you would partake in? Just under £5 grand for a 125 Enduro bike by KTM. And the 250 XCW for 9,000, a bit more serious that time, with a 2-stroke 250. And then you've got the 690 over here.
I promise not to do that.
That's fine. It's all right. I'll put a big smiley face over your head. So, then you've got the road side of things. I mean, I think if you're a KTM person, you're a KTM person. And if you're not, you're not. You know, regardless of the hardships, people have their following. £11,999 for the 890 SMT. What do you think? And then the big one, the 1390, that's the new one. Look at that dash. A lot of people are going for this portrait style dash now. Seems to be the in thing. 18699 for that one. But you've got 173 horsepower. 227 kilos, that's not bad for a 1390 at all really. 23 litre fuel tank, 173 horsepower. That works. Size of that exhaust though. And on this side of KTM stand, you've got their more street going bikes. So this one, the 1390 Duke, that does look good. £20 grand though, or £19,500 for their 1390 Super Duke R Evo. Look at the exhaust system on that. Phenomenal. Intriguing bit of kit. 17,799 for the Duke R. What do you think of them? And then the 390 for 5,200. That's a good price, I think. £5,200 for their 390. And their 790 Duke for £8,000. $990 RCR for $13,499. Looks good in that grey with the carbon bits on it. And the 990 RCR. £13,500 for that one. What do you think of that front end? That's an unusual looking front end, isn't it? Not a single little light, but it does look good. And then the Duke 125. I like that colour scheme. The blue and the orange works well. And that reduced price, £500 off now. Was $4,899, now $4,399. A full power 125. And then finally KTM's Supermotos. This one is the 125 for £4,900. And the SMCR in the white, that looks good. The white with the little purple accents, the 390. And then the bigger version here. So that 390 is 5,699. And then the 690 is 10,499. Jumps quite a bit in the prices, doesn't it? And then their off-road stuff, 250, 9.5, and 6.2 for the 85.